So DAIWA wasn't the only company that came out with a brand new reel for the fall. That's because Shimano Japan has, out of nowhere, announced what is probably the finest big swim bait reel to date. And we're going to check it out in this video. Now, of course, we're on Shimano Japan's webpage, and let us go to bait casting reels. And a lot of people might be thinking that the ANTARES DCMD is the best swim bait reel in the world, but I'm talking the big swim baits, like stuff over 3 ounces, going all the way up to those, almost 2 foot long, ridiculous swim baits that people are starting to throw in the swim bait world. But the reel I'm talking about is the new right here, the Scorpion MD300. Now, for those of you who are unaware, the Scorpion is like the Japanese counterpart to Shimano America's CURADO. But over in Japan, they've kind of taken the Scorpion lineup a different way, and they're gearing these reels like the 300 and the 200, as well as the DC, which was on the previous page, to bigger line capacity, bigger bait reels. And they're not calling these reels just bass fishing reels anymore. They call them freestyle, where they can be used to target much bigger fish and are more versatile because of it. So that's why Shimano Japan hasn't replaced the long discontinued Scorpion 70, which was a finesse reel. So anyway, let's take a look at the new Scorpion MD300. And boom, look at this beauty. Now, I personally tried swim bait fishing a couple of times, and it wasn't for me. I just don't have the time and the patience to be chucking even average 2 to 3 ounce swim baits all day long to get no bites. But the Scorpion MD300 is really tempting me to give it another shot. So as you can see, it's like a dark gray with plenty of red accents. But let's check this reel out. And it says scheduled for release in December. We'll check out more pictures of it. There's the profile. You can see the massive chunky handle. Look at that beautiful side plate. And this gives us a preview as to one of the huge features that this Scorpion 300 MD has. Look at the brake dial exposed on the side, a very BANTAM and METANIUM like side plate, and they included that nice bit of red right here to give us just a splash of color. Very well done, Shimano. Here's the front. Here's the top. So it looks like just a bigger upsized version of the Scorpion MD200, or otherwise known as the CURADO M here in America. So a very good looking asymmetrical reel that tapers off in the front aggressively, and it's wider at the back. Yeah, I think that's all the pictures, but let's get into the details. I think a lot of the big swim bait guys will really be interested in this reel. But here we go. Boom. Key feature. The first Shimano bait 300 size to feature the high rigidity core solid body. So that means the body is going to be all metal, aluminum in this case, and it's only going to be made of 3 total pieces. So the frame itself, including the palm side plate or the palm side, is all one piece. The handle side plate is another piece, also made of metal, and then the little cap that you use to access the spool is also once again made of metal, but it's not a item that is going to get any kind of stress. So Shimano has taken their core solid and put it into a swim bait reel. Now the core solid frame first came out in 2018 in the new Bantam, and since then they've only put it in one other reel, which is the current METANIUM. So Shimano is very, I guess, stingy putting core solid in other lineups, which is surprising. You'd figured that it's a top of the line feature that they would put in more expensive reels like Antares and whatnot. But yeah, this new Scorpion MD300 is going to be all aluminum with the core solid design. So let's read. What we wanted was an excellent body rigidity that would give us an advantage in head-on battles with not only black bass. So once again, the Scorpion lineup has been rebranded to a freestyle type of reel, not just for bass fishing, but to continue, it says, but also large sea creatures and monster fish from around the world. To further enhance the advantage of the low-profile Scorpion MD, which allows for a strong grip, we adopted a one-piece core solid body, the first for a Shimano bait reel 300 body. The high rigidity reduces bending and distortion more than ever before, further increasing the sense of security and transmitting the reeling power input by the angler without any loss. It's a true value. Wait, let me repeat that. Its true value is demonstrated in power games with large fish, or even the slightest gap is not allowed. So basically, they designed this new Scorpion 300 not to have any kind of flex or give, even when fighting the biggest fish. Now, I'm sure there's a limit to the size of fish that this reel can take on, but I'm sure they're going to release some promo videos showing us what this reel can do in the future. But here's another big feature. The new SVS Infinity MD tune, MD stands for Monster Drive, mechanism is also compatible with giant baits. So if you take a look here, you see that they're using SVS Infinity, but they're using a whopping 8 arms. Now the average Shimano reel with SVS Infinity has only 4 arms, and there's a couple that have 6, but the Scorpion 300 Monster Drive is going to have 8. But of course, now you can adjust it from the outside with this external dial, which is a huge plus, because with the previous Scorpion 300 as well as the current CURADO 300, if you want to make any kind of adjustments, you have to open up the side plate, which, if I remember correctly, completely came off. It was not attached. So for all you big swim bait guys who are wondering about this braking technology, each one of these 8 arms you can turn on or off. So if you want to run really light braking because you have a swim bait that flies through the air really good, you can turn off 7 arms if you want. You can turn off all the arms if you want, or of course you can keep all of them on. It's really up to you. It's highly adjustable, and then however many arms are turned off or on, you can fine tune with this dial. So right there, when it comes to big swim bait reels, the braking system on this Scorpion Monster Drive 300 is already better than anything else out on the market. Now let's read about it. The SVS Infinity MD Tune is an even stronger version of the SVS Infinity, which provides a smooth rise and extension and allows for stepless adjustment using an external dial. The brake shoes have been increased to 8 to increase braking power and support high line capacity spools. The reel's adaptability to giant baits with high air resistance and sudden changes in wind direction has also been improved, allowing it to be adjusted to a wider range of situations. So that's the beauty of SVS Infinity, is that with the previous design, where you don't have the external adjustment, sometimes turning one brake off gives you too little braking when you need just a little bit more distance, or if you need just a little bit more brake, sometimes turning an extra brake on chokes the distance off too much. So the fine-tuning ability of this SVS Infinity is the advantage this reel is going to have over pretty much any other reel. And comes with X-ship and micro module gearing. It says in freestyle games where a power fight with a large fish is expected, high level winding performance that does not waver even under high load is required. The drive system of the Scorpion MD300 uses two technologies, micro module gears and X-ship. By increasing the number of teeth that mesh, the micro module gear, which demonstrates further strength, suppresses vibrations caused by gear meshing, achieving smooth and silky winding. X-ship firmly supports the gear system by enlarging the diameter of the drive gear, optimally arranging both pinion and drive gears, and supporting the bearing at 2 points by the pinion gear. The stable winding power brought about by fusion of technology strongly supports the angler's challenge. So for a long time, Shimano guys, they used to have this marketing term called HEG, or high efficiency gearing. Basically, it was just a bigger than average main gear to give more power. But that term went away when Shimano started putting X-ship on a lot of their reels, and it looks like HEG has been absorbed into X-ship. So you have the brass micro gears, the X-ship oversized gearing and double bearing pinion support, housed into a core solid body. This reel should be ultra smooth and ultra powerful. Alright, it says high line capacity and high drag power to support your endless challenges. The Scorpion MD300 uses a 43mm spool with a line capacity of 25-pound line. It holds 135 meters, that's about 150 yards. Combined with a gear ratio of 7.6, the maximum winding length per handle rotation is 103 centimeters. Not sure what that is in inches. It says the high line capacity allows the line diameter to remain even after a long cast, so you can maintain the winding speed and perform quick operations immediately after landing on the water. The line tension does not loosen easily, promoting smooth operation even with thick axis hooks mounted on giant baits. The maximum drag force is designed to be 8 kilos in anticipation of fighting large fish, and it allows the angler to take the lead in the game without giving up the initiative to the opponent. So 8 kilos, I think, where's my calculator? Let's calculate this out. So a kilo is 2.2 pounds. So roughly 18 pounds of drag, give or take, on the new Scorpion 300 Monster Drive. Okay, so here's all the technology and marketing. Once again, core solid frame, SVS Infinity Monster Drive tune, S3D spool, corrosion resistant bearing, super free, of course, seawater okay, metal body and side plates, micro module gears, X-ship, and it has X-Protect, which is this coating they put on, I guess, gears or whatever inside to repel water. So it's only going to come so far in one gear ratio, which is XG 7.6, and it looks like it's going to come in two configurations. One called just XG, and looks like it's going to have your standard Shimano power grips, and then you have the LH models, both right and left, which comes with, looks to be a longer handle and power foam knobs. Alright, so quick look at the specs. 7.6 ratio, 325 grams. Let's do a quick calculation. 325 divided by 28 grams in an ounce, 11.6 ounces weight. I think that's about, if I'm not mistaken, an ounce more than the current CURADO 300. Line capacity Yep, it says handle length on the XGs are 90 millimeters, and then for the LH models, 51 millimeters, 7+1 bearings, and the cost 38,500 yen. So if this reel comes to America in the form of, I guess, a new CURADO 300, which I think is selling for either 209 or 219 right now, it's probably going to be closer to $300. But you do get all these really, really good technologies, especially when it comes to big swim baits. So once again, they're expecting this to be released in December. For all you big swim bait guys, I would contact your favorite JDM shop, put your order in, because this reel looks like it's going to be a winner. It has all the things that the current CURADO 300 sorely needed, like the externally adjustable brakes, and of course the implementation of the all metal core solid frame and body. And this reel is supposed to be competing against this reel, DAIWA's TATULA 300, which I believe has an aluminum frame and I think handle side plate. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tackle Warehouse says both side plates are aluminum, but DAIWA USA doesn't say anything about having an aluminum handle side plate. Of course, it's got the T-wing, and according to this, it just has Mag Force, not Mag Force Z. But you can see the price on this TATULA 300. It's $289, and I expect if this reel comes over to America as the new CURADO 300, it's going to be probably around that price. So a big bump up in price, but a big bump up in technology. So for any big swim bait guys who may be watching this video, let me know in the comments, are you planning on getting one of these reels? Is the new Scorpion MD300 just what you've been looking for? I mean, Shimano does have other big swim bait reels, but they're very expensive. Right, like the Calcutta Conquest MD, which I think is for sale here in America. It's like $550 before tax. And then of course we got the ANTARES Monster Drive, which is a 200 size reel. I don't think it's really made for bigger swim baits, like over 3 ounces. Could be wrong, but you know, you're looking at a $600-700 reel. So yeah, I am excited about this new Scorpion MD, even though I'm really not a swim bait guy. But I may be tempted to get one just to try out swim baits again in the future. All right, guys, thanks a lot.